Yeah. Wait, did we miss it?
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Before we get started, Victor, very important, if you could just really quickly just pull up your Twitter account. You have a Twitter account, right? Just
Sure.
on your phone, if you could pull that up. If you just look at the next post here. You're fired! I fired you on Twitter, you bastard! You're not a part of this show anymore. That's how we do it. In America, everybody is fired on Twitter.
Okay, I'll see you.
Yeah, that's how we do it. That's
Deuces.
correct. We don't need you on this show anymore. Instead, you're going to be replaced with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and culture. As impossible as that may seem. So, listeners, now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith, and my co-host used to be Victor. Say hello, used to be Victor.
Should I say it? Like, do I say it backwards?
Perfect.
I don't know.
More importantly, after having a brighter day, we have in studio Justin Shapiro.
Hey.
Hello. Great news, Justin. You're also fired. Go check your Twitter. Everyone is fired from Twitter. This is what we're doing now, I guess, right? That's if the president can just fire people on Facebook and Twitter, I assume that we can all do that, right? That's the new standard.
No, I had to look it up just now, and it's wow, this is remarkably stupid.
Right. I think it was the Secretary of State, right? Rex Tillerson, the high school quarterback.
Yep.
This makes me miss Kofefe.
That is the. Please agree with me that Rex Tillerson is absolutely the name of a high school quarterback, right? Are
It
we all
is
in agreement?
now.
Yes.
It sounds. I know that he was Secretary of State, but it's totally the name of a guy that peaked in high school, right? Like it's like, hey, how's Rex Tillerson doing? Oh, I don't know. Last time I saw him down at the Blockbuster, I don't know. He had such potential.
I haven't seen Rex Tillerson in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Blockbuster. I can see him at like a lonely bowling alley too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He was at the Lowe's. He helped me pick out a gang box, which is apparently a real thing. That's it is. It's an electrical box thing. It sounds like a sex act. There's a lot of them. There's like a three-way. You can get a three-way. That's a real thing. But yeah, go to Lowe's sometime and just start asking for awkward things. It's amazing.
Do you
See if
tell
I can make
literally,
somebody sweat.
I need some awkward things, guys.
Yeah, just hi guys. Where do you have all the caulk? I just want to try some caulk. I've never done it before, but I'm feeling experimental. And do you have anything like darker, like any darker caulk? I just
Like black.
Do you have any black caulk?
What happens when it comes out and it gets really hard afterwards?
Yeah, that's I just need to know. I believe I'm supposed to like spit on my finger and smooth it out. Is that true? Is that I just saw it on a video once.
Will this conversation never end?
Yes, it will.
Here,
It
hold
will.
my shaft.
Because you're fired. You're all fired.
Right.
Check your Twitter accounts. I think he fired the Secretary of State on Facebook, is my understanding, right? Is that what we got on the news?
There's a Secretary of State for
Well,
Facebook?
not anymore.
Oh, right.
If I could get rid of some bills the same way, like, nope, I'm not. I'm just going to tweet to my, Verizon. I'm not going to pay you anymore.
No,
bye.
not doing that. How
If I
would
could still get your service, though, that'd be great.
how would you feel if you got to work and they were like, oh, you didn't check your Twitter, and you found out you had been fired from your day job just from Twitter? Like, A, publicly, and B, in like 180 characters.
That's depressing. And then you hear it from other friends too. Like, oh, I heard on Twitter that you got fired. Oh, I did?
Excuse me?
Like, what?
Right. It's like trading someone in the NFL, right? And you find out from social media, oh, I'm not the Secretary of State anymore. Oh, no, you've been traded to North Korea. You're their Secretary of State now.
Are we sure it's not a typo? Maybe he just typed a lot of words wrong.
All at once.
Maybe it's supposed to be you're hired. Maybe I got promoted.
Great job, Brownie. And so,
He didn't spell Jeff Sessions right.
so yeah, that happened in the world. That's a thing now where great men of power.
Well, he's been setting great examples for us for the past year and a half. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about putting in my resignation tweet later today.
Excellent.
And so we'll see how that goes.
Nobody's that lucky.
So, yes.
Not that we have a political stance on the matter.
Not at all. Luckily, in studio, we happen to have another man who knows how to write things on Twitter. Do you have a Twitter?
I do. Actually, you know what? I feel a little. I feel about 10 years behind in the times because I just created my Twitter account.
When did you just create it?
Saturday.
Yeah. You know how I know this? Because I tried to follow your Twitter account when we booked you and it didn't exist.
Yep, it does now.
It was a trick.
I have 37 friends.
That's nice.
Or followers.
He doesn't
I have
even know what
almost as many.
I don't even think I have followers. That's actually
I have almost
from a
as many
movie.
friends on MySpace.
What you're saying is you followed 37 people.
No, I feel really unloved because I followed about 130 something.
Well, we'll be one of them that follows you.
Excellent.
Speaking of which, if you'd like to follow him, what's the new name on Twitter? This is brand new.
New name on Twitter is J Shap Music.
Has somebody already gotten your first?
You know what? It only let me do Justin Shapiro Mew.
Mew.
So I was trying to do Justin Shapiro Music.
Yeah.
That was too long. So J
I
Shap.
thought like mu, like the Greek letter mu.
Oh no, just MU is as far as I could go.
Oh, all right. Moo. All right. So there you go. You're brand new. You've come into your own now.
Yes,
You
Justin Shapiro Music on everything else.
All the other things.
Yes, all the other things.
Speaking of Justin Shapiro music, you've brought us some music this week.
I did.
In fact, it's a world premiere.
Shut the front door. That's
right.
amazing.
Yeah, shut your whole mouth. We have a world
Yeah.
premiere.
Can I do
Close the
noise?
hole in your face.
Oh.
That's amazing.
He wants to do a clip for it. Maybe we could use this forever as our new clip. So Justin, what is this particular track?
It is called Human Hurricane.
No, do the thing.
Oh, world's premiere.
Bum, bum, bum.
So yes, it's called Human Hurricane. It's on the album Campfire Party. The album's not even out right now.
No, set to be released May 18th.
May
Shit.
18th. The track itself isn't out right now. We're not even talking because we always record beforehand and then we go, it's not out right now, and then it's out by the time our show's out. If you're listening to this show, there's a chance that it's not out right now.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's gonna
Unless
be
you're
out.
really behind, in which case you deserve it.
Right. So it's being released Monday, April 2nd.
Yes.
Monday, April 2nd.
Yes.
Which is days after we are releasing this. So you could have a moment right now as you're listening to hear a song that nobody's ever heard publicly. In fact, if you fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show, you can listen to the track in its entirety free, and there's not even us talking over it. So go do that now. It's way better. But later we'll have a clip of it if you want to.
Well, I very much recommend you just don't come back.
Just don't come back.
Just don't come
We
back.
hate you. Just
I'm
leave.
fired.
Yes. Just go to the 1 hour
You're
mark.
fired.
Go
Don't
up-
come back. You're fired too.
Go to the 1 hour mark of the show, listen to the track, and then check your Twitter because you're fired. And but we're going to have more to talk about Justin Shapiro later. We're going to find out about that particular track. And also, you have a show coming up at National Harbor on Friday, March 30th. This also won't have a track because it's not April 2nd yet. And that's at Irish Whisper. Is that an Irish bar, I assume?
It is. It's a little Irish pub right in downtown National Harbor.
It's either
That's what we're talking about, right?
If it's still there.
I figured it's either an Irish bar or it's like a French bar that's like, we don't like Irish people. And that's the whisper, was that they just don't say the word Irish out loud.
That's pretty
better.
careless on their part.
Yes, it is. It is a careless Irish whisper. So you have to do that sound clip, but with an Irish accent, which I'm not sure how you do that. It'd be like, oh, da 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 da.
Ask the mistress.
Oh,
I'm pretty
da,
sure
da.
she's pretty good at that.
Yeah, she would know. If people want to find out, you're saying that the release is in May.
Yes.
That's way far off, and nobody cares, right? Nobody's gonna remember that.
Aw.
Plus, you said it might be at Wonderland Ballroom.
Yes, we're gonna have a release party, hopefully at Wonderland Ballroom. Things are in talks right now. I'm just waiting on the confirmation.
It might be somewhere else. We don't know.
We'll see.
We don't know the exact date.
Stay
of things,
tuned. It
maybe.
keeps it exciting.
Yeah, but if people do want to keep track of that, they can go to www.justinshapiromusic.com.
Yep.
And you'll have all your shows. You even you play a show every Friday.
Yes,
is what
I do.
You were saying.
Yes,
Look
Lucky
at
Buns
you.
and Adams Morgan every Friday, 10:30 to 1:30. It's a late show, but come on out. Food there is awesome, and I play for a good long time. So everything from the 90s to Beatles to Little John, and then a whole bunch of original stuff in between.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, speaking of Justin Shapiro's Lucky Buns, what we have next is the weather report. Yes.
Oh, wait, we have a stinger for that. My bad.
Yes, you don't have to make stingers for everything. We have a lot of this done already ahead of time. So what we're going to do is we're casting you in the brand new role of the editor-in-chief of a publication that has never been seen by the public before, the world premiere of a publication. if
Yeah,
you will.
girl, congrats.
And so we're going to pitch you some ideas. We're going to start off with a few longer pitches, things that we think maybe we can convince you to put in the publication. We'll have a lightning round of a couple more. We'll just throw some headlines at you and see what you think. You're going to let us know whether or not they make it into the publication or whether or not they should be considered news. Feel free to let us know why you think they are or aren't, or where in the publication they'll be. But most importantly, when we're done, we're going to need to have you name this brand new publication so people can find it on their newsstands. Are you ready?
You're getting
I'm
more
excited.
important by
Let's
the
do it.
minute.
What's that, Victor?
He's getting more important by the minute.
It's very important. All right. So without further ado, the man always first in line, my dear friend Victor, what do you have for us?
Suspected Harlow drug dealer lasts 47 days without pooping and has now been released.
Is that weird? Is that an unusual?
No, well, let's see. Lamar Chambers, 24, was arrested on Wednesday, January 17th, after the car he was in was stopped, and he appeared before court a day later after police suspected he had swallowed his drugs. And then he spent 47 days in custody and didn't poop.
That's awesome.
Was he?
And the police are like, we fed him, we gave him all sorts of, everything he needed to live, but he just didn't poop. And this was released. This was written and published the day he was released.
That's
What a fucking boss!
How is that not a
They
world
had
record?
no evidence to accuse him of whatever. Like, okay, we can charge you with, but we have nothing to go on because you haven't shot out the drugs.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That has to be a world record, right? Is there
I was
somebody?
gonna say, if it doesn't go in my publication, it should go in the Guinness publication.
Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
remarkable. I don't know how he didn't die from something.
It says since his release from custody, he has been taken to the hospital for treatment.
Yeah.
The most intense colonic ever.
No, but they're checking for holes. That's
Right.
It was just coming out his belly button or something. I have no
He's
idea
just
what's
throwing up
Yeah.
over and over and over again.
I wonder if that's what they're doing. They're like, here, have this Irish breakfast. And then he was like, oh, no. And he's like, this is delicious. Thanks, guys. And just went back and was like, you're not getting my drugs.
Right. I'm keeping those.
Did it like dissolve within him?
I don't know.
There is no explanation.
I think
there
I
is
would-
nothing in here that's just like, this is how he did it. No.
Oh, I have an explanation. He's a TARDIS. Right? That's the only explanation. He's bigger on the inside.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's disturbing,
It's disturbing.
and it's a great way to get your gains on if you're working out. But is it news?
I think I would like to hear the follow-up story after the medical treatment.
Yeah, but
and
you have to
then
wait
print
47 days for it.
Right. So I think we're not going to publish that one.
No!
Until we get an end result.
Oh,
Until we get
come
an end
on.
result.
In a manner of speaking. All right. I'm sorry. I thought it was going in.
Now the
Victor.
fart
This
one from the other
publication
week
is
I was
shit.
cracking up at.
I thought it was going to make it in. I just thought it wouldn't come back out.
It's educational. You eat the evidence and you never poop again.
Yeah. There you go. Is that obstruction of justice at that point? It's definitely obstruction of something.
It's an obstruction for sure.
All right, everybody. This is a sad, sad day, or sad week, I should say. The North Pole branch of Blockbuster is closing.
Oh,
Yep, it is closed. At its peak, Blockbuster had 9,000 locations. This particular one was manned by Rex Tillerson from high school. You remember him? God,
and
doing
he's
so
now
well.
fired.
Yeah. There are now 6 Blockbusters still open. 4 in Alaska, 2 in Oregon, since boarding up the doors of its North Pole location. I know what you're thinking. How many Inuits have to rent Pauly Shore's timeless classic Encino Man to keep the Robert Perry Memorial Blockbuster open?
What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, it's a good question.
He's in the Jews.
I know you're asking your government, you're sending notes to your representative just saying, is this the latest victim of global warming's shrinking ice sheets? Are we going to let this stand? No.
Yeah.
No, we're not, because it's not that North Pole. Yeah.
What?
That's true. Santa did not have to remind Rudolph to be kind and rewind. This North Pole is actually a town of about 2,200 people near Fairbanks in interior Alaska, named by a property development company in 1944. It was named North Pole to attract a toy manufacturer. It didn't attract a toy manufacturer or Santa for that
that's
matter.
Just stupid. That's just dumb.
But it did attract Blockbuster, mostly because the internet sucks in Alaska as much as the weather sucks in Alaska. So nobody wanted to go outside and they couldn't download anything. However, unfortunately, there aren't enough people in North Pole, Alaska to keep the Blockbuster open. As with most Blockbuster closings, the store will liquidate all of its inventory and furniture. The local news reported that about 40 people showed up for the first day of the sale, probably doubling the town's population. I'm assuming
I wonder what movies look like in liquid form. Like, how would you liquidate a movie? Because that's all they have in there, right? Like,
yeah.
Do the shelves go in as well?
Have you
'Cause
seen
if you heat
Waterworld?
those, they...
Yeah. You have to go in and drink your own pee, I think is how it works out.
Oh, no. I thought you meant like if you melt the caps at the North Pole, then you get... Okay.
That's Waterworld.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, it's okay. You always are. So...
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
I know there's a little sleight of hand there, but I think this is still very important because now we're only down to a half dozen Blockbusters. More importantly, there are still a half dozen Blockbusters.
Right? I had no idea.
I may have buried the lead here a bit. I didn't know there were any Blockbusters. There's still 6 holding on for dear life. That is a very rare card to get these days, the Blockbuster card. So
Like, the excuse of I have to go return some videotapes only works in those places now.
I gotta say, I used to use my Blockbuster card as my fake ID to show my now bass player who used to be a bartender.
is that it doesn't have your like your age on it?
Didn't
does
matter. It just he's like flashed me something, so I was like, "Here's my Blockbuster card."
Should have showed him your boobies.
But ever since I've turned 21, I haven't needed my Blockbuster card
You
anymore.
could have just shown him a napkin at that point that just said 21 on it.
Right.
Like,
I'll
Also,
have an
coincidentally,
alcohol-
I need 21 beers.
yeah, what is that for? The cameras? What is he like? Did a cop think, oh no, he totally checked that out. He's fine. Like, wait a minute, it's yellow and blue. All right. So is it news?
I'll put it in the news.
Yeah, out to a strong lead.
Nice.
All right, Victor, what do you got?
All right. Romanian court tells man he is not alive.
I saw this one.
Let that sink in for a minute.
Wait.
In a case reminiscent of a Kafka novel, a
Yes.
Romanian court has ruled that 63-year-old man is dead, despite what would appear to be convincing evidence to the contrary.
What would be that evidence?
The man himself appearing alive and well in court.
Hey guys, I'm not dead. I'm not so sure.
This guy showed up to court to overturn a death certificate that his family, they declared him dead. He spent 9 years in Turkey and cut off his family completely, and he's just they won't bring him back to life because he missed the cutoff date.
Is that guy's name Abe Vigoda? Just out of curiosity.
Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Only way it makes sense.
Constantin Relue. I had a Romanian girlfriend. For shame. I should know these. It says, I'm officially dead, although I'm alive. I have no income, and because I'm listed dead, I can't do anything. So.
Well, that's proof, right? He can't do anything, so he's probably dead. It's circular logic. That's the problem. That's what he's caught in.
No, it's perfect. It's everything a bureaucracy needs to be.
Yes, he's a Romanian man named... That's what it looks like, at least.
Oh, right. He carries his tombstone around,
I was going to say, did they take him to like his own grave, like in Back to the Future when he sees it fade?
Here's the thing. I have to give him credit because I've been to a bunch of funerals. He has given the greatest eulogy I've ever seen. He's like, I am fucking awesome. God, I'm good.
Right.
Jesus
show up,
Christ.
give his own eulogy.
Right. And they're like, just calm down. Stop owning it.
Right.
So definitely an odd case and obviously a terrible lawyer. But would you call it news? Is it news?
I mean, I wouldn't put it on the front page, but I'll put it in the paper. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
That makes it in. You're in.
In the people section.
I would think it would actually be in the obituaries.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. All right. So let's see if this makes it in. I think it's important. Ladies and gentlemen, great news. It is no longer a crime in Utah to let your kids play outside alone. That's right. You heard me.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
On the compound?
I've been to Utah. It's not that interesting. Unless you happen to get excited about polite, well-meaning youth wanting to inspire you with the words of the prophet Joseph Smith. Otherwise, people are neighborly in the extreme and everything's well lit. I do know that some cities in Utah are catching up with the times recently. A few years ago, Utah legislature passed a law allowing restaurant patrons to order alcohol before ordering food. Actual law that people were cited on. You had to order
solid.
your
Yeah,
alcohol.
Agree with
that. After. But now they've done it again, guys. They're bringing it. They're bringing it back. They're coming into the future, everybody. They're joining us right now. It will no longer be a punishable crime to allow your children to play outside with no adult supervision or to walk home from school alone. Yep.
Wow.
Previously, parents could be charged with child neglect, although it is unclear how frequently the law was enforced. It is the Free Range Kids Bill. It was passed in an effort to...
Oh, my God. They had to pass a whole bill on this nonsense and put it through their own sort of state Congress and
people voted.
Rewrite it and compromise on it and then rewrite it and send it to the state president and then he vetoes it and then they send it back and then the Supreme Court of Utah is like, stuff and things.
Yeah, you got government down. In fact, they did this vote in front of an entire gallery of people that included no unsupervised children. But the point was it was to ebb helicopter parenting and to help prepare children for adulthood by teaching them that the world is a cold, lonely place with no one there to help you. And that is why you have to walk home from school on your own. Stop crying. It shows weakness, Susie. I assume.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah.
Carol, Nancy, whatever, those generic names.
Right. So, now they can do that on their own and be kidnapped like all the other kids.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. So is it news?
I'll say it's news. I'll put it in the travel section under maybe places you don't really need to go to.
Yeah.
Next year.
Now unaccompanied minors can fly into Utah without having their parents arrested in other states.
Perfect.
No offense to anybody that lives in Utah that's listening.
They don't have internet there. It's Utah. It's basically a desert with just temples. All right. Victor.
So we got our lightning round coming up, don't we?
Yep.
I believe so. So I'm just going to spit out some headlines here, and I hope they make it in. But I think this is definitely a winner. Inmate overdoses on underwear.
Yes.
Yeah.
That has
No
to be
more
right.
I want to
questions.
know
You're-
more.
You're in.
What do you got, Keith?
All right, I've got a parcel sent to a couple in New Zealand addressed with only a farm situated on a long driveway with cows opposite a pub or thereabouts has reached its rightful owners.
Yes.
What?
So on the address, you'd usually put like Mr. and Mrs. such and such
Right.
at 253 something street in something. But this is a package that was sent, and the address section just said, quote, a farm situated up a long driveway with cows opposite a pub or thereabouts. And it made it there.
What?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It arrived.
The set of Castaway?
It somehow got there. And so, yeah, apparently they posted on Facebook and a man came in and said, yeah, I think that's ours.
Wow.
Apparently this is the second time. They also got a letter once a year, several years ago, that was asked to be delivered to the old house with the pretty garden across the road from the big white goat with the one horn. And that also made it.
Oh my God.
New Zealand is a magical place.
It's Middle Earth.
Yeah.
It's Middle Earth.
Where you could just say, like, you remember where I got drunk that one time and I lost my wallet? Yeah, send this there. And then, like, the post service is like, no problem. Just
We
hire
got it.
Harry Potter will take it there. So, yeah, that actually happened. Is it in?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
How about you,
I
Vince?
mean, that's a little strange.
I feel like this is just, I was just making fun of Fox News here. It's hard-hitting reporting from Fox News. The headline is literally, "Cats aren't dogs!" exclamation point.
Excellent. I mean, that's important,
I
right?
mean, everybody's got to know.
All right.
Right.
So, in?
Sure.
All right. Last but not least, I have flight attendant orgy denied by airline despite being caught on camera.
Wasn't me.
Wait.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
She even caught it on camera. Wasn't me.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah, let's put that in there too. Maybe
Yeah.
things to do.
Yeah. It was put on social media and the airline was like, nope. That's their response. They're just like, nah, no. So yeah, all right, that ends it, everybody. I have an overwhelming majority here. I got everything in
Whatever.
today.
You did.
Yeah, undefeated for today.
I just need a follow-up story from the first one, and then
Yeah, and then you have 3 out of the 4. So we
Fine.
both did really well. Most important question, though, now that we have everything in line, we know where it's the order of everything's going to be printed. We know everything about it except the name, Justin. What are we going to name this brand new publication?
more exciting than your average fake news.
Okay, I'm typing this because I'm not going to remember it. More exciting than your what was
Average fake news.
average fake news.
Gentlemen, if you will excuse me a moment, I have to go take care of a baby, and
Uh-oh.
I shall return
That's its,
shortly.
Yeah, that's its own fake news.
That's a headline right there. Actually, I just have to pee. I mean, what?
No, all right, get out of here. We're gonna talk about some of your music while he's gone because he didn't want to have to listen to your music.
Oh.
That's what he said. He told me that personally. He was like, "Can I just leave when we play the music because I just hate it."
So I only get one follow now.
Right. No. So here's the thing. I have to admit, there are times we had a bit of a failure, right? Because you didn't get your track to us quite as early as we wanted. And then Engineer Adam, who's listening right now, left and went to Oregon where they find feet on the beach instead of doing his job that we don't pay him to do. So if he checks his Twitter right now, he'll find out that he's fired.
Right?
But I also did not make a clip because I'm not as talented as Engineer Adam, and I don't know how like music works or how sounds work or computers or all of these other mythical things that I assume don't exist. But what we're going to do is make a little space for a song, and he's going to drop it in using the magic that Engineer Adam always does. So the song that we're going to have is a world premiere. We listened to a little bit of it before the show. It is called Human Hurricane.
Yep.
It's going to be off your new album, Campfire Party, that's coming out in May.
Yes.
This particular single is dropping on Monday, April 2nd.
Yep.
But you're going to be able to listen to it on this show before any of that, which is really exciting.
All you want, even before it goes on my website.
Yeah. So now I know some of the stories you have later are kind of titling of the song. I don't want to ruin that at all. Do you want to tell us anything about the song to set it up without ruining your later stories?
Sure.
Okay.
This song, it's a little bit more of a heavier sound, a little bit more edgy than I normally play.
Okay.
I'm used to more of the singer-songwriter kind of folky style with a little bit of, pep in my step, extra rhythm.
Yeah.
But
and singer-songwriter, for those who aren't aware, that's usually acoustic guitar, vocals, that kind of thing. And then some accoutrement on that, perhaps.
Yep.
But a little more straightforward and intimate, and something where usually has a story or a message that you're trying to draw people in. This is more of kind of a straightforward rock kind of tune, right?
Yeah, it's kind of didn't know where it was going, and once it formed, which again we'll talk later, but it's one of my favorite songs. I think it's one of the most catchy songs on the album.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of get everybody excited with that. It's also pretty opposite from the one single that I have up on Spotify right now.
Gotcha. And so do you feel like you said that this one's pretty unique from some of the other stuff you do. Do you do these departures often, or is this kind of new for you to pick out something completely different?
I've actually got a bunch of different influences from Bob Dylan to Dave Matthews, Ben Harper. I was a Metallica kid when I was in high school, so a lot of that comes. Pearl Jam is my favorite band of all time. So I think a lot of those influences, it kind of depends on my mood.
Is it also their older stuff that's still your favorite?
For Pearl Jam?
Yeah, for Pearl Jam.
I really like their Lightning Bolt album, but
really,
but yeah, 10 is the best album that came out of the 90s. I'm going to hold myself to that.
I think you can make a really strong argument for it. You've got like Nevermind, that's pretty strong as well.
And there's your
10.
Nirvana fans and your Pearl Jam fans.
Sure. And there's a few other albums that you could probably say like are in the mix.
Siamese Dream.
Yeah. I don't think Siamese Dream is as strong as those other two though. Like you're gonna listen through 10 and Nevermind pretty straight through, and it's just like song after song after song. There's a couple I think on Siamese Dream that you're like, this is all right.
Good call.
Right? But I think there's some others that if I were to actually like go through the 90s, I'd be able to find a few that you could like listen straight through. I just don't have them offhand. But I think 10's a really strong contender for it's at least just for anyone who says it isn't in the mix is like ridiculous, right?
Insane.
Yeah. So I think you make a strong point on that. I think like around like No Code, they start to really drift off into like, you have Vitology that's like, all right, Animal still pretty, or was it
Versus.
Animal? Versus still pretty good. That was a pretty good album.
Totally.
Vitology, you were like, all right, not bad. And then I was like, No Code, and I was like,
you know what? The later I got, the older I got, I went back and I listened to No Code and I listened to Binaural, and those are such good albums, but I didn't appreciate them then when they came out.
Yeah,
I was still give me 10. I want to hear Porch. I want to hear Once.
Sure.
But then there's a lot of good tracks on No Code. You just got to give it a second chance.
I would think. What was the debut of Rage Against the Machine? The one with the priest on fire on the front of it?
I forget the name of that record.
That was a pretty damn good album.
That was a
too.
really good record.
All right. So let's leave a little bit of space and have, by the magic of post-production, we'll have engineer Adam drop in just a sample of this brand new track, Human Hurricane. If you want to fast forward to the 1 hour mark, you can listen to the entire track right now and come join us again in about 20 seconds. And you can join the hilarity of the show again. So this is a track from Campfire Party by Justin Shapiro called Human Hurricane.
That jam is so fresh, just think I'll call somebody else. She walks down so fresh, my mind is wandered into itself. She looks one look and you're hooked to see her stand in front of the light. Tattoos and
All right, well, I'm sure there's a very good sample happening underneath us right now.
I hope so.
I hope that you're enjoying it. It'll fade out probably right around here, and it'll sound like this was all planned.
Excellent.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Again, if you want to listen to the whole track, just fast forward to the 1 hour mark. You don't even have to listen to us being ridiculous over top of it. So if people want to hear that song along with a number of others, I assume, they can check you out Friday, March 30th at the Irish Whisper in National Harbor in Maryland, right?
Yep.
And you'll be
every
doing-
Friday after that at Lucky Buttons in Adams Morgan.
And you'll be doing covers and your own music as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not doing a full band there. Do you do like a singer-songwriter version of that song live?
I do.
Okay.
That's one of the few that I've found that I can actually really keep true to how I'm playing it on the record.
Okay.
Even, it's just got that kind of energy and I sing with that kind of energy.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you don't, because you're not going to have drums and stuff at these gigs, right?
Right.
You play solo.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Solo and duo sometimes too with another.
Can I
guitar
show
player.
up my Blockbuster ID?
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. They'll let you drink at Irish Whisper if you just show them a Blockbuster ID,
Awesome.
or if you just show them a picture of Justin Shapiro with the number 21 on it.
Well, if you've been around long enough to have a Blockbuster ID, you're probably
Right.
at least 21.
Now it would really work, right? Like now, if you have it, it's absolutely a valid ID. All right, so that's on March 20th. The whole album's coming out in May. And obviously this single itself is going up on Spotify, I think you said.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, that'll be out the Tuesday following the airing of the podcast.
No, Monday.
Monday. I don't
Monday,
know why I keep
April-
saying Tuesday.
April
Monday.
2nd. If you want to follow along with all of the shows that he does a ton of shows all the time, and he is doing a bunch of releases and things like that. Go to JustinShapiroMusic.com and you can follow along, or tweet him at his brand new Twitter account and tell him that he's lame for not having one for a decade. So without further ado, something else we can make fun of you about. You get to play our brand new radio game show that we like to call Please God, Just Get One Right. This is where we surprise you with a brand new category. You have no idea what it is because it was picked by Camille Miller. It was not Camille Miller. It was the person who Camille Miller assaulted with curling. So it was last week's, and that was, what was it? Who do we have last week? We had Anthony. Anthony Dante had to deal with curling. He then decided that he was going to assault you with the category of cocktails.
Oh.
Not as bad, I think, as curling.
Right.
I think you have a shot at some of these.
I might.
Especially with your Blockbuster card on you.
Oh, yeah. So much knowledge, such wisdom and
I
experience.
I can't phone my bartender friend.
No, you cannot.
Okay. I think I should be good.
Yeah.
You can poll the audience, though.
Yes, you can poll the audience. They just won't answer because we record a week ahead of time. So if you do get one right, you will be able to pick a prize from Uncle Archie's Box o' Fun, which everyone's very excited about.
It's like glowing over there in the corner.
It's legendary at this point.
You guys, there's an extra life in there, by the way.
So without further ado, let's get started. We have about 6 questions, and you get to try and guess any of them to see if you can get indeed one right. So we start with the lady that I came to the dance with, which is Victor. Dance with the one you came with. Victor, what is your first question?
Please, God, just get one right.
Yes, Justin Shapiro.
A talented New York City bartender takes a job at the bar in Jamaica and falls in love in the movie Cocktail. Who is the lead?
Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Jesus,
shit.
that was
He got
easy.
one right.
Oh, my God. You're just softballing him.
Yeah.
All right. So this is all just gravy.
Maybe I
now.
should have. Maybe I shouldn't have opened with that.
That was, you should have held that in case he was
That
really
was my
bad.
last. Whew.
Mine
I
are going to
got
be a
one
little
right.
harder at least. All right. I'm going to go with surprisingly not named after the Catholic martyr and saint. What is the most popular cocktail in the United States? So you got a hint in everything.
Oh. The most
Dun, dun,
popular
dun, dun,
cocktail in the
dun.
United States.
Yes, most popular cocktail in the United States. It is surprisingly not named after the Catholic martyr and saint.
A Meximosa.
Which would be Saint Germain.
The Long Island iced tea named after Saint Long Island. I mean, throw something out there.
Let's just do the most popular cocktail,
Yeah.
rum and coke.
It's a good guess. Not a lot of Catholic saints named
rum or coke.
Saint Rum.
Be a good one though.
It would be Saint Rum and Coca-Cola. Saint Coca-Cola. All right, you're stuck on
Yeah, I'm
this. You
stuck
did
on
rum
that
and
one.
Coke, which is not correct.
No,
You should have known that going in.
Tom Cruise.
Bloody Mary.
The margarita.
Oh,
That's my favorite drink. Why didn't I just fucking say that?
Yeah, that's the
That
most
is
popular
my favorite
one.
drink.
Saint Margarita, who was a martyr, known as
makes sense.
Margarita the Margarita the Virgin, Margarita the Martyr, the Great Martyr, I think is what they say.
Margarita.
So yeah, not correct, unfortunately.
Sorry, everybody.
Victor.
during the colonial period, tavern keepers stored their spirits in casks. When the casks got near empty, the dregs, or tailings, would be mixed together in one barrel and sold at a reduced price. Poured from the spigot, which was referred to as the what?
Oh. The tap. There's no way in hell I'm going to get that one.
Wait, is this from the barrel?
From the barrel?
From the barrel.
Huh. The spigot, I don't know. I know the name of the hole in the barrel, though.
What is it, Keith?
The bung hole. That's
No,
literally.
it's not.
Oh my
literally
God.
called the bung hole.
That's so much better because the spigot that goes in the bunghole was called the cock.
No, it's not. So if you go to Lowe's
Yeah.
and you say,
Yeah, that's Can I get
spigot for my bunghole?
Can I get a cock
Or
for my
cock
bung hole?
bunghole.
Right. Patrons wanting this cheaper alcohol would come in asking for the cock tailings. So the bottom of the barrel.
Interesting. Yeah. So there's like there's a guy, and I forget the official name. You might want to like Google this. But so there's a guy like at Jim Beam and at Johnny Walker, all those, that like his job is to pour all the stuff in the barrel to go be aged, and then he takes a plug and hammers it into the hole, and like the plug is called a bung. So he's I forget, he's like the bung slammer or something like that. Like he's
Oh my God.
it's like I forgot what it is, but it's something hilarious. But it's the bung hole that holds the bung, and
That's amazing.
yeah. So I knew that was the thing.
I guarantee you 99% of your listeners learned something today.
That's what we want them to learn.
Bunghole.
We need them to learn about bung holes.
You need teepee for your bunghole.
The bung hammerer, I think it is. All right. What animal was the first cocktail shaker, or were the first cocktail shakers shaped like? It's a tough one, but it makes perfect sense when you actually like think of what a cocktail shaker looks like.
A barnacle.
That nailed it. It's the barnacle
Plankton.
with the giant penis. No, it's not a barnacle. He doesn't get to play. He
walrus.
sees the answers. So if he says the right answer,
I would say like an owl.
an owl, that's not a bad guess. That's not a bad guess at all.
The shape of a shaker?
Mm-hmm. The shape of the shaker itself. It would be like an owl with a hat.
Right.
That would be that would throw you off.
Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear. No, penguins.
Oh.
Yeah, the
That
little
all-
head on top. They put a beak on it. They put little wings on the side, and then it's basically penguin shaped.
Right.
When you think about it, it makes perfect sense. But but you don't like think about it that way. But yeah, penguins. So the first shakers were decorative penguins, and then you shook your drinks in them, and then they went, "This is super useful." And could we just get rid of the penguin? That's fucking really weird. So really drunken penguins. All right, Victor, what do you have?
You should have saved your cocktail one.
They can't walk hardly.
I know you don't
Anyway.
know how to like make. You have to build up suspense, and you started with the easiest one.
Shut up. I didn't know. I hadn't even heard of that movie.
What?
What?
You never heard of it?
Have
You
you,
guys
heard
got
of
like
Top
10
Gun?
years on me.
Jeez. I thought you were going to go with the character name or something. That would have
On
been good.
February 7th, 2013, Joel Heffernan of Club 23 set a new Guinness World Record for the most expensive cocktail, which was the Winston named, of course, for Winston Churchill. In addition to 2 shots of Croisset cognac from 1858, there's an opulent edition of Grand Marnier
Yeah, perfect.
But do call
Nailed
ahead.
it.
It takes 2 days to make the Winston. Ballpark estimate as to how much it costs.
It takes how many? 2 days?
Yeah.
2 days to make
And
the
if-
Winston.
And if you drink it, you do not poop for 47 days.
Right.
Fact.
And you walk like a penguin.
Yes.
And how much does it cost?
Yeah, that's what you have to guess. How much
Ballpark
is?
estimate.
I don't understand why it takes 3 days. That's insane.
2 days. Don't exaggerate.
What? 2 days? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 2 days.
How does it take 2 days? That's I guess you have to let things
because reasons.
macerate. I guess
Yeah,
is that what's happening? I don't know. You do it on the first day and then you wait. There's no way that you actually have to pour things for 2 days.
Through osmosis.
Yeah.
That would be good. I don't know. Let's just say $200, $100 a day.
That seems low.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
very low.
I'm gonna-
That's very
That's
low.
fairly low. $600.
How many thousands of dollars is this shot?
What?
How many thousands of dollars?
How many thousands of dollars?
It's the most
I'm out.
expensive shot. It's just a shot, though.
The Croisset cognac is from 1858. I really hope I'm saying that
no,
right.
it's not a shot. It's a
Crevassier?
mixed. It's a mixed drink.
Right, and there are 2 shots of Croisset cognac from 1858.
Very
they are
old.
each worth $6,000, as well as a Grand Marnier quintessence of Chartreuse.
That was way better than the first time.
Blah, 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 blah.
I don't know if it was right, but it sounded better.
$12,040.
Wow.
For one
The
drink.
most expensive drink ever.
It better be in a gold glass,
Right?
right? And it comes with a blowjob.
Yeah.
That's like,
Lifetime's
You
worth of
said it.
blowjobs right there.
yeah.
Yeah. That's insane.
That's a lot. But then there's people that wouldn't care. Like, is Warren Buffett? That's like the equivalent of like $40 to him, right? Like, it's not even
Right.
close.
What's a quarter?
Yeah. So that's amazing. Okay, last but not least, this was going to be my softball. We'll see if it ends up actually being a softball. Possibly due to their love of getting caught in the rain, Puerto Rico's national drink is what?
Oh. Oh, no, not the caipirinha. That's something else.
If you like and getting caught in the rain.
Pina coladas?
Yeah, there you go. Why
Thanks-
would you
thanks
blow
for
it?
the hint.
We were going to let him just
He already got
sit
one
there.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a big hint, I
Well,
thought.
yeah.
Possibly due to their love of getting caught in the rain. Puerto Rico.
Well, it does rain
Yeah.
like a torrential rainstorm
You know-
once a day for about 20 minutes.
I
every
missed
day.
all the subtle hints that you guys dropped. So
Yeah.
I apologize about that.
All right, so you did get one right. You should thank Victor, because he threw you a real
What
softball.
can I say
I got 1.5.
except you're welcome?
I thought that, which was the other, wait, what was
The
half?
cocktail one, the first one,
What was the cocktail one?
the Tom Cruise one.
That was the first one you got right. What was the
Yeah.
half one?
Oh, then the one he sang to me. The pina coladas. We're not going to count that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
That
if you
rounds
count
up to
that.
2, I think.
Oh, you get to choose. here.
No.
All right, we'll call it 2, but it was a real cheap 2. The first one was totally legit. It was just super easy. All right, so you've picked something.
I picked
Feel
something.
free to open that up. While you're doing that, we're going to need to figure out what the next. You have been accosted with cocktails. You did quite well. I assume that you want to
And
do
bung holes.
yes, and bungholes. We have shoved cocks into bungholes. So here's the thing. I don't think you want the next guest to get 2 right? Because that would be, if they got more than you, that would be really embarrassing. You want to seem
Right.
smarter.
Right.
So you're going to need to pick something that maybe they don't get any right.
So
What are you going to make them suffer through?
I thought about this.
Yes.
And
Uh-oh.
I think in the spirit of the holidays coming up, since this will air the day before Passover,
Yeah.
and I always used to always watch the Passover movie. Let's go with Charlton Heston. Charlton Heston facts.
All righty.
I thought you were going to do Passover, and then you
I kind of went
wow,
made a left turn.
The second time we've had an individual as a as a
Yes.
I could have done that Rob Thomas one. I was listening to
Yo,
that.
yeah?
I would have aced that one.
You would have rocked that?
Yeah. Not that I'm like a giant Matchbox 20 fan, but
Right. Well, they did have the greatest album of the 90s. So
right.
I can't name it. All right.
Yourself
so
or someone like you?
yes. So Charlton
More than you think you
Heston.
are.
This is what you've done to somebody. So we will see next week. Make sure to listen to next week, everybody, to find out if our next guest is able to pry a right answer from Charlton Heston's cold dead hand. And
Too soon. Too soon.
and it become way more likely now, didn't it? All right.
Ooh.
So excellent. You got one right. That was the end of that. So let's move on to finding out some facts about you. Let's pretend for a moment that maybe we were trying to get just one right about you. So we are going to move on to a section of the show that we like to call Near and Far.
Near. Go far again. Far. See, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
You understand?
You understand. That's not that hard. All right. So we're going to pick two stories from your life. One that happened close to home, one that happened out in your adventures. We talked a little bit about this. I thought it was interesting. You went very thematically
Yes.
for this show. You're near. Do you want to start near or far? Where would you like to go?
I'll go far.
Far. Okay. Yeah, you will. I like the positive attitude that you got, Justin. So far, you were saying that your far story actually deals with the title of the song that we heard on the show today, right?
Yes.
So
Nice.
Human Hurricane.
Human Hurricane.
I assume that this must have happened at a bar in New Orleans.
It was not quite that far.
Oh, okay. You weren't drinking a Human Hurricane.
It was at a bar.
made from alcohol and blood.
No.
Oh,
It's actually a rather sad story, but my girlfriend really likes the song, and I can actually tell this story now. So
okay. Now,
So yeah,
there was a point in
my.
time.
the two stories are very opposite from one another.
Okay.
So Human Hurricane deals. I was in a relationship for 6 years, and I'm wanting to go out and have fun and do
Sure.
whatever. And I'm impressing every girl I possibly can that wants to watch me play guitar at my bar at L Bar.
Yeah.
So I'm playing my song. I see this girl. She starts flirting with me, and I see what she's doing because she's flirting with everybody in the bar,
Okay.
doing the same stuff. And my friend even looked at me and was like, "She's crazy. Watch out for her." and I'm like, "I'm single.
Yeah.
That's probably the one I want."
That's awesome. This is going to be so good. Yeah.
So I take her back to my place
Mm-hmm.
after everything, and
You play sweet, sweet music together.
oh no. So she gets totally naked, and
Okay.
she starts dancing for me, and I'm sitting on my couch like, this only happens in movies.
Right.
Right. I'm not.
Where's
this is
the
not-
camera? There's a camera right
exactly.
now. I'm being pranked.
So I'm like, all right. She goes, "I want to play your guitar." I said, "Play my guitar."
Right.
She's drunk.
Uh,
And she was coming over to sit on my lap, and she stumbled. So I get it that it was sort of an accident, but she was kind of a mess anyway.
yes.
And the
Accidentally
guitar,
had sex.
yes, no,
She fell on my penis.
no.
And then the rest is history.
So the guitar fell on the corner of the coffee table, and it cracked from
Oh,
the
joy.
end pin all the way to the cutaway of the guitar. And it was my very first Martin professional guitar that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Don't even make it anymore.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
So you rocked me and destroyed my life.
Oh, my God.
Is the name of Human Hurricane.
And then you put your cock in her bunghole.
And you know,
That's not even pornographic anymore.
no,
Yeah, that's a drinking term.
no. So I don't mind telling that story because my girlfriend loves the song. She actually thinks it's super catchy. And I was like, "Are you sure you're going to be okay with me talking about this on air tonight?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, just tell him I'm cool with it." And I'm like, "All right,
Right.
we're good to go."
And that she has never broken a guitar of yours.
She has never broken the guitar of mine.
That's a
She
that's a
is
keeper.
actually the inspiration for the album title.
which is your near story.
That is my near story.
Look at that
That's a
segue.
good segue,
You're
right?
good.
Damn.
Oh, you're going to have to come on more often. That was really well done.
You know?
Smooth. Like Rob
That's
Thomas.
smoother than your transitions, Keith. I have to say that's even better.
What?
You know what? That's better than two ignorant Never mind.
You don't even know it. You hear it every week. Oh,
I didn't
my
want to go
goodness.
into it. Shut up.
All right. So you were saying your Near's the title of the album.
Yeah. So
And the album's called Campfire Party.
Yep.
Which makes me wonder if you have campfire parties at your house. Because
No.
I want to go to your house now.
No, it's actually a metaphor, sort of. I was listening to a bunch of the album, and my bass player who's on the album, Derek, he was telling me that, I love your music. It always reminds me of sitting around a campfire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was like, Campfire Party would be a cool name for an album. But I also wanted to then write a song called Campfire Party. And I didn't know.
I thought it was going to be a metaphor where you were going to say, I made sweet love to my girlfriend and then I wanted some more.
Oh no.
Wah, wah.
So yes, you wanted to write a song about it.
Yeah, I wanted
Did you
to
write a song?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I didn't.
The title track?
Yeah, I didn't have anything in mind, and I was trying to force something, and then all of a sudden one day I was going to bed, and I literally, and this never happens before, but I literally put my head on my pillow and immediately stood up and grabbed my guitar, and I wrote down this lyric.
In bed?
No, I
You're
just got out of bed. I jumped out of bed.
Oh, okay. You just said you stood up in bed with like a pillow stuck to your head.
No, I think everybody knew what I meant.
I feel like you Dracula out of the bed. Just
Levitated.
He was just talking about his penis.
Next, we're going to be talking about bungholes.
I know. So you were like, you laid down and instantly you were like, I know what I'm going to do.
I have this melody that I wrote on guitar.
Yeah.
And that's how you came up with the flux capacitor.
What he's not telling us is there's just a radio in his pillow. And he was like, that's a great tune.
Yes,
And then he
no,
just
that's
stole Johnny
perfect.
Be Good from someone.
No, I started writing these lyrics, and then all of a sudden this second half of the song came to me all at once, and I wrote it all down. And the next day, and I was like, wow, I wrote a love song, and and I kind of turned it into a song for my girlfriend, who's just been nothing but supportive and inspirational for the album. So the first and the last track are for her.
Nice.
Yeah.
So campfire parties for her, and what's the other one?
The other one's called Lost in Time.
Cock in your bunghole. she's not
Lost in
gonna.
Time.
She's not gonna like
She's
us at
gonna
all.
hate this podcast.
Yeah, she's gonna
I
be
was
like-
like, I promise I'll talk about you. I don't know if it's a great idea. but-
Yeah, no, she's gonna be like, I'm never listening to these sons of bitches.
Probably should have thought that through.
It's a drinking song, honey.
Right.
It's fine. What was it called again? The other one?
Lost in Time.
Lost in Time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very sweet. That's
Yeah.
very nice. And so, how long did it take you to write the first song, the Campfire Party? Was it just an hour, or did it
Yeah.
it seemed it came to you like all at once?
It really did. Once I put it all together, I sat on the music for about a week or two.
Yeah.
And then it was all of a sudden that came, and I literally wrote it within just a couple hours. After that second half came. I wrote the second half first, and then I went back to write the rest of it.
So the album Campfire Party, that's coming out in May.
Yep.
The Human Hurricane, which is the release you just heard, that's Monday, April 2nd. You can hear more music at JustinShapiroMusic.com. Don't forget to get to go see him Friday, March 30th at Irish Whisper in National Harbor in Maryland. You also do Best Buns every Friday.
Lucky Buns.
Lucky Buns. Lucky
Yep.
Buns. We just ran out of time. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Thanks for having me, guys.
Follow him along at JustinShapiroMusic.com. Also coming up this week, Saturday, March 31st, Janata Pinata at Monk's Barbecue in Percival, Virginia. Buzz Queen is at Slash Run in Washington, D.C. Julia Kasdorp at James Charles Winery and Vineyard in Winchester, Virginia. Joshua Rich is at the Ugly Mug in Washington, D.C. Distant Creatures is at Greedo's Speakeasy in Frederick, Maryland. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, and share the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We will mention you here on the show. We need your help. We cannot do it without you. Also, don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and Google Play. Thanks to Victor. Thanks to Ken Evinger, McNally22, Justin Rogers, McMenno Records, Alchemical Records, and Engineer Adams for all their contributions. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.
That jam is so fresh, just think I'll call somebody else. She walks down so fresh, my mind is wandered into itself. She looks one look and you're hooked to see her stand in front of the light. Tattoos and lace can't get out of my head. You can feel that this is gonna be a wild night, yeah, yeah. Hey, let's get fucking crazy. Let's start an after party tonight. My mind is racing, I don't need to allow this one. She said it's on me, but you got the next round, yeah, yeah. Said do it's me and you, what you thinking? Yeah, I'm thinking now it's time to impress. Get you walking, get you talking, get you dancing, get you singing. Yeah, I'm thinking about what's under your dress. She looks one look and you're hooked to see her stand in front of the light. I see you there with the glare in your stare. You can feel that this is gonna be a wild night, yeah, yeah. Hey, let's get fucking crazy. Let's start an after party tonight. My mind is racing, I don't need to allow this one. She said it's on me, but you got the next round. She said, hey, let's get fucking crazy. The devil wants to party tonight. Run away from the human hurricane. She'll rock you, then destroy your life. Yeah. I see her looking at me, yeah, she's looking at me so well. Hair falls on her face and a glimmer in her eye. You completely fallen under her spell. She gives you everything she's got, the way she's shaking her hips. She's nothing but trouble, and you know right away the way she bites your lip when you kiss.